buhay sa kahanginan.
Good day, students! I am Teacher Wendy. Today, I will guide you in answering the activities in Science 8, Quarter 3, Lesson 2. Please prepare your activity sheets and pen. Are you now ready? Come on, and let's have some exciting activities in science. Today, we are going to learn together the concepts in your activity sheets in Lesson 2, Particle Nature of Matter. We will tackle Lesson 2 entitled Properties of Solids, Liquids, and Gases based on particle nature of matter. In the previous lesson, you've learned that matter is anything that has mass and volume. You have also learned the three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas, and some of their properties. Solid has a definite shape and volume. Liquid has an indefinite shape but has a definite volume. Gas has an indefinite shape and volume. In this lesson, you will explore the particle nature of matter. You are going to discover other properties of matter such as density, compressibility, diffusion, and temperature. After going through this lesson, you are expected to: number 1, identify the particles of matter. Number 2, describe the properties of the three states of matter. And number 3, explain real-life situations based on the particle nature of matter. The scientist named Democritus believed that all matter is composed of tiny particles called atomos, a Greek word which means indestructible, uncuttable, and undivided particles. He believed that there are many different kinds of atoms, and each of them had a specific shape, size, and that all forms move randomly in space. This belief was proven correct when John Dalton presented concrete evidence that matter is made up of very small particles called atoms. Atom is the smallest particle of an element that has all the properties of the element. Atoms of most elements have the ability to combine with other atoms. When atoms combine, they form molecules. A molecule is a particle consisting of 2 or more atoms combined in a specific arrangement. It is an electrically neutral particle. It is the smallest particle of a compound that can exist independently. For example, a molecule of water consists of 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. Atoms of the same element can also combine to form a molecule. For example, the diatomic molecules such as hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Since you already know the different particles of matter, let us now understand how these particles are arranged and how these arrangement affects other properties of matter such as its density, compressibility, diffusion, and temperature. Density is equal to mass over volume. It reflects the degree of packing of particles in a matter. Solid has the highest density, while gas has the lowest density. This is because the particles in solid are closely packed, while in gas, the particles are farther apart. With equal volumes, there are more particles present in solid than in liquids and gases. Compressibility is the ability of particles to be moved closer together. Gas particles can be compressed very easily since there are plenty of spaces for the particles to move closer. Liquid particles are closer together. Thus, there is greater attraction among particles which holds them together. Because of this arrangement, liquid particles can slide past one another, but they cannot be compressed anymore. Solid particles are tightly packed, so it is extremely difficult to move the particles closer. Diffusion is the process of a substance spreading out to evenly fill its container or environment. Figure 3 shows what happened when a drop of food coloring is added to the water. When a drop of food coloring enters the water, the food coloring molecules are highly concentrated at the location where the dye molecules meet the water molecules, giving the water in that area a very dark color. As the food coloring molecules begin to interact with the water molecules, molecular collisions cause them to move randomly around the glass. Take a look at the molecular representation of dye and water molecules. Blue particles represent the dye molecules, and yellow particles represent the water molecules. The dye and water molecules interact continuously until such time the dye is evenly distributed in a glass of water, even without stirring, because particles are constantly moving. As collisions continue, the molecules spread out or diffuse over space. Why is it that when you walk in a school canteen, you can immediately smell coffee that is far away from you? One reason is convection. Moving currents of air carry coffee smell particles all around the coffee shop. But even without convection, the smell would still reach you eventually, not by convection, but by diffusion. In diffusion, coffee particles move from coffee machine, an area of high concentration, to the rest of the school canteen, an area of low concentration. Gases diffuse fastest among the three states of matter, since there is still plenty of space for the particles to move around. Next are the liquids. Liquids diffuse faster than solids. This is because there are still spaces in between the liquid particles. The slowest to diffuse are the solids, because there are very little space in between solid particles. Temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of particles in a substance. The video shows the behavior of particles at different temperatures. Take a look at the video. On the left is a glass of cold water. On the right is a glass of hot water. Can you see that the food color is more spread out in the hot water than in cold water? This is because the particles move more rapidly at higher temperatures, since they have higher average kinetic energy. Now you know the different properties of matter. These ideas are explained in the particle model of matter. The following are its postulates. Matter is made up of tiny particles. Particles of matter are moving all the time. These particles have spaces between them. The particles of matter attract each other. Now that we already know about the particle nature of matter, we will now proceed to our activity 1. Let us read the directions together. Identify whether the following diagrams represent atoms or molecules. Write A if it represents atoms and M if it represents molecules. Number 1. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. Time is up! Fantastic! The answer is A. It represents atoms. Number 2. Your time starts now. Great! The answer is M. It represents molecules. Number 3. Your 5 seconds starts now. Amazing! The answer is M. It represents molecules. Number 4. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up! Perfect! The answer is A. It represents an atom. Number 5. Your time starts now. Time is up. The answer is M. It represents molecules. Great job, everyone! I hope you got the correct answer for each item. Are you now ready for the next activity? Then, let's go! Let's read the directions for the next activity. Determine whether the following statements describe the properties of solids, liquids, or gases. Write S if it describes a solid, L if it describes a liquid, and G if it describes a gas. Number 1. It can be compressed very easily. Your timer starts now. Time is up! Fantastic! The answer is G for gas. Number 2. It has the highest density. Okay, let's check your answer. Great! The answer is S for solid. Number 3. It diffuses very fast. Did you get the correct answer? Let's find out. The answer is G for gas. Number 4. It has enough space to move around but cannot be compressed. Time's up! Amazing! The answer is L for liquid. Number 5. Its particles are tightly packed. Time is up! Let's check your answer. The answer is S for solid. Did you get all the items right? Marvelous! Now, kindly answer the remaining activity in Activity 3. To wrap up your learnings today about particle nature of matter, I would like you to complete this statement and write it down on your paper. Now, I realized that it's for you to answer.
Particles of matter move constantly, and they have spaces in between them. Solids have the highest density among the 3 states of matter, while gases have the lowest density. Great job, everyone! You did well today. Watch out for more exciting lessons in Science 8. This is Teacher Wendy saying, when you're curious, you'll find lots of interesting things to do.